witches. So today I really wanted to touch base with everybody on their goals and intentions that they set during the new moon. So the full moon is actually coming up this week. It's going to be on the 23rd, which is a Friday. So make sure you mark your calendars. Don't forget, it always sneaks up on me, like seriously. So let's kind of like think back to the beginning of the month when where you were, what you were doing on, what you're working on, what did your practice look like? What were you aiming to accomplish? Now in the days that are leading up to the full moon, it's time to kind of refocus on that and make sure that we are putting in the work to really accomplish those goals, to fulfill your intent, and then work towards just being like in the full energy of whatever your intention was. So for myself, obviously, like I've had a lot of physical changes. I got myself tattooed, but also some spiritual ones. So I just really wanted to kind of go over that with you guys today and just kind of talk about my personal experience and see like maybe if you guys had some of yours, if you wanted to share. If you're following along in your Book of Shadows, which if you are, that is incredible. And if you are doing that still, like, it's so cool. Right now would be like a good way, like a good page to kind of like do some self-reflection and start kind of like planning out what your full moon ritual is going to look like. So yeah, now obviously, like I said, I've had a lot of physical changes, but I have done a lot of spiritual work too. One of the things that I've kind of done is like push aside some beauty rituals, like going to get my hair done or going to go get a tattoo or picking up a nice makeup thing. I really like kind of pushed this all away because I felt like I didn't deserve it. So I've been working a lot with Bast on that, and she's helped me with a lot of that. And like by going through and actually following through and like making an appointment to go get my hair done or making an appointment to go do whatever has really helped me like realize like, hey, I do actually deserve to do this. Like you know, I can afford it now, and it's good to invest in getting things done right instead of trying to do stuff myself. So not that I tattooed myself, but I'm talking more my hair and stuff like that. But yeah, so it's been like nice and it's been healing. I'm finishing up my collection, which is really cool. So that's kind of another physical thing that I'm doing, but in doing so, I'm hoping to have it done by the end of the week, by the full moon. Like I want everything done by the full moon, and I'm almost done. I just have like a couple more things to do. Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's like my little mini goal for myself. So because I'm finishing that up, it's kind of the end of an era. It's kind of something that I've been working on all year, in terms of like, especially like planning and getting things cut and sewn and all of that. That's been more the last 2 weeks, but the planning and the sitting with the collection and you know, getting the hotels booked and everything like that is something I've been doing a lot in the last couple of weeks. Yeah, so like finishing that up is going to be really big, and I'm really excited to finish it. I really kind of like, I almost like I'm at the point where I'm like, I just want this to be over, which is always somewhere where I get with my projects. And I think we all can kind of relate to that, but I'm excited for it to be finished because I want to see it finished. So yeah. In the last 2 weeks that I've had off for vacation, have like rested and recuperated a lot. I'm still like battling feelings of like feeling unproductive or like anxious that I'm not working certain days. Like today, this is probably the only video that's gonna go up for my patrons. I'm not 100% sure how much I'm gonna get done today. But today is going to be a rest day for me because I'm exhausted. It's my last day of vacation and I'd like to spend it with my partner. So that's what's up. I am a real person. I do have a life, and I will be putting out videos as much as possible. For patrons, I actually think I'm going to be switching my upload day from Sundays to Saturdays because I need a day to just do absolutely nothing. And I haven't really gotten that for the last 6 months. So I am kind of putting that boundary up, and I think that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's kind of like a goal. I have some goals that I've set for my career and for my life and like what I want for my life, and how I see my life in about a year from now, which is very different than what I see it from today. So that being said, we'll see. But so a lot of big changes. Another big change for me that I've noticed this month is that there is a new goddess who is stepping forward to work with me. So I am going to be taking the initial steps to kind of like explore that connection or that relationship. I'm really excited to share a little bit more about that. I've kind of hinted at it, I think, and if you guys can't guess by now, I'm sure if you go back and watch videos, you can guess what is happening. But yeah, I have a new deity stepping forward, and I I'm apprehensive and nervous, but I think it's going to be good. But I don't, for some reason, something's telling me not to work with them until the fall. So I'm going to be waiting patiently until my birthday. And then I think stuff's going to like kind of kick off. So we'll see. The next thing that I wanted to talk about, I have some new practices that I've implemented this month, which are really cool and very transformative. So I've been doing tarot readings in the morning. Same time that I do my morning tarot reading, it also gives me time to do deity work in the morning, so I can like sit and like work with each one of my gods. Just like very briefly in the morning, just a prayer, an offering, whatever, and then like a tarot reading to see what messages they might have for me that day. And then also I will be continuing to visit the cemetery in honor of Anubis, and I think that's going to be a very pivotal part of my craft. I'd like to see where that goes, so yeah. So one of the cool things that has happened to me this month is that I was interviewed for a podcast, so that will be coming out really, really soon. I shared a really intimate story on that podcast, and it's probably like a lot of TMI and a lot of personal information, and I definitely overshared, and then like had an anxiety attack like right after I finished, like after I hit like off on the Zoom meeting that I like recorded this from. I had a massive panic attack, so I was like, oh no, everyone's gonna hate this episode, like it's gonna be the worst, like I overshared, like this is not usable. So I haven't heard it back yet. We will see when it comes out, which actually should be sometime really, really soon. And on that day, I will be able to tell you a little bit more. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about it, but here we are, so yeah. But anyways, that was like really healing. I released a lot of trauma, and I'm hoping that, you know, my story gets out there, and, you know, it kind of just allows people to feel less alone, or maybe like strengthens our community a little bit, even if it's incremental. So yeah, I'm hoping like that is like what happens, and that people feel safe coming to talk to me. But anyways, the final thing that I want to talk about today is just like how many new friendships that I've had, and how many new friendships that I've made like throughout the last couple weeks, like in my witchy community and family. Like I've met a ton of people. Yesterday we had like another like meetup that I helped organize, and I had been going to the store forever and ever and ever, and I didn't know that the one of the owners was an actual, like, was a witch. So when I mentioned like, hey, we're having like a Lammas like and Lughnasadh celebration on August 1st, would you like to come? She started like crying. She was like, what? I didn't know that this was like a community and blah, blah, blah. Like I'm meeting like people and women from like all walks of life. Like and honestly, I think I'm like the youngest there. Like it's all like adults and like people who are like in their 30s and stuff. And I'm like, hello, I'm Gen Z. It's like, it's been really cool, and I've learned a lot about like what it means to be a leader in your community and what it takes, and planning events and getting things on the books right away. So I definitely have learned a lot about that, and I'm excited to explore that a little bit more, because I do really want to become like a leader in my local pagan community. So that's like a big goal for me. But yeah, that's just like some ways that I've seen like my intent manifest, which my intention for this month was transformation. So I think I've changed a lot. I'll be curious to see like what my coworkers think when I walk in, just like being a witch and like just unapologetic about it. But yeah, that's a story for another day, I think. So anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow, and I hope that your goals and intentions are going super great. If you need help or any advice, my inbox is always open, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.